President Trump vowing to change birthright citizenship rules with the stroke of his pen.
But not everybody in Congress, including people in his own party, are on the same page. So what are the president's options? Here to weigh in, Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano.
Morning, guys.
The president said the other day maybe he would change it via executive order, but then yesterday he said maybe he would prefer to go through Congress rather than an executive order.
Birthright citizenship is a very, very important subject. In my opinion, it's much less complex than people think. I think it says it very loud and clear in the Constitution that you don't have to go through the process of whatever they're talking about. And by the way, this is not a constitutional amendment. You don't need a constitutional amendment for birthright citizenship. I believe that you can have a simple vote in Congress, or it's even possible, in my opinion, this is after meeting with some very talented legal scholars, that you can do it through an executive order. Now, I'd rather do it through Congress because that's permanent, but we can certainly do it through, I really believe we can do it through executive order. One other thing, if President Obama can get DACA approved, if you look at DACA, where he actually said, well, this isn't legal or this I can't do, but I'll do it anyway, and then he gets a judge to approve it, and it'll ultimately be decided by the Supreme Court, I hope quickly. But certainly if he can do DACA, we can do this by executive order. With that being said, I think Congress will ultimately act.
Well, listen, Congress can write legislation that puts sections of the Constitution into our law and tells bureaucrats how to enforce sections of the Constitution. But Congress can't change the Constitution. So if the president wants legislation that says, for example, the Congress declares that birthright citizenship no longer exists, right, that legislation would be just as unconstitutional as a presidential executive order declaring that birthright citizenship doesn't exist. Why do I say that? Because of the plain meaning of the 14th Amendment, which says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state in which they live.
But it's that word jurisdiction that
right. So are illegals subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? Of course they are. They commit a crime, they get prosecuted. They get hit in an automobile accident, they can sue. They have basic human rights. They can't vote, they can't run for office, but they are subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof is intended to exclude from automatic citizenship the offspring of those who are not subject to our jurisdiction. Who would that be? Foreign diplomats, foreign heads of state, foreign agents.
But do you agree that our founding fathers couldn't possibly have foreseen 20 million people here illegally?
Of course.
And people abusing the system like Russians and Chinese as well as Central and South Americans.
So the remedy is to change the Constitution, which is very difficult, very cumbersome, and in my opinion will not happen. The remedy is not, would require a vote of 2/3 of both houses of Congress. That's not going to happen now. And ratification by 3/4 of the state legislature.
Right.
Very cumbersome.
How about legislation driven from Lindsey Graham that passes the House and Senate that makes the courts decide on this and have an honest debate about this?
Well, the courts can't just decide something. They have
once
to
it's challenged. Once
correct.
It's
they have to have a real case or controversy in front of them. But when the Supreme Court has looked at this, candidly, it's gone both ways. But the more recent cases have said whoever is born here is an American citizen. Look, the president can't change the plain meaning of the Constitution with the stroke of a pen. If he could do that, then Barack Obama could have gotten rid of the Second Amendment, which he hated. Presidents can't do that, and I think the president knows that. I believe he has generated this because he wants the debate. He thinks this debate will help Republicans in the 5 days remaining before the midterms. I don't think he seriously thinks he can change the Constitution with an executive order.
Well, he has changed the subject, and now everybody's talking about it.
Right.
All right, Judge, thank you very much.
I do believe he sincerely wants this. I don't think it's contrived at all.
I fully agree with you, Brian.
Right.
All right.
Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.